Next on Worcester News Tonight, recognizing Black History Month. City of Worcester is celebrating through educational programs at several sites. Plus, UMass Memorial Medical Center celebrating the Super Bowl with their newest Patriots fans. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. Some diehard sports fans have superstitions or good luck charms for big games like last night's Super Bowl. At UMass Memorial Medical Center, they had their own little good luck charms inside the Maternity Center nursery. More than a dozen new babies rocked Patriots gear as they experienced their first New England Super Bowl win. Our Cam Jandro spoke with the family of one of those babies. He joins us now live in Worcester with more. Cam?
Anna, for a lot of Patriots fans, their first Super Bowl title in 2001 was a long time coming. I was one of the lucky ones and saw them upset the greatest show on turf when I was only 8 years old. But here at UMass Memorial Medical Center, they weren't even alive a single day and they saw their first Super Bowl title. Meet Betty, one of the babies born at UMass Memorial Medical Center on Super Bowl Sunday. She was born at 2:44 a.m.
She came like early in the morning, then like later in the afternoon, so he wouldn't be able to like miss the game.
Betty was wrapped up in a Patriots blanket Monday. It was one of 18 handmade by some of the hospital's nurses. For Betty's mom, Fani Kimura, it was the most special Super Sunday.
And my daughter came on Sunday on the same day as like the Patriots winning, so it was good.
Betty's dad, Aloysius Gala, wore his Patriots gear to celebrate the team's 6th Super Bowl victory. He says his new baby girl may have been the lucky charm the team needed.
I said, okay, the baby born on the Super Bowl Sunday. That's a good thing. But then after the game, they win. I said, yes, it's a lucky baby too.
Betty arrived a few days earlier than expected. And while mom may not have been fully ready, she says her little one was.
So I watched a little bit and I fell asleep. But her and her dad were watching it. She wanted to come to watch the game with her dad.
Now her dad says he's glad that the Super Bowl was being shown inside the hospital because if not, he was getting ready to go watch it somewhere else. He also says if Betty did turn out to be a boy, he was getting the idea of maybe throwing Julian Edelman somewhere into the name. Live in Worcester tonight, I'm Cam Jandro, Worcester News Tonight.
What a beautiful little baby. Congrats to them. Well, we'll have live coverage of Tuesday's rally from our partners at New England Cable News. It begins at 11 a.m. here on Charter TV3. It's a familiar feeling here in New England, waking up celebrating a major pro sports title, the 12th time in the last 17 years to be exact. Many were up watching the Patriots win the Super Bowl, while others were getting ready to ship out official championship gear. Our Rosalind Flaherty has more on the Patriots' big win.
By midday, there wasn't a lot to choose from at Dick's Sporting Goods in Worcester, but Patriots fans were there trying to buy up the latest Super Bowl championship gear.
I'm just here to get the championship shirt.
I am getting a shirt.
I'd like to get anything.
The Pats beat the Rams 13-3, earning their 6th championship. Many fans say they were surprised by the final score.
Score was a little bit off, but I won some money, so I'm good.
It was very defensive. It wasn't one of the more interesting games unless you were a Patriots fan.
But they say the numbers don't matter as long as New England won.
I'm just excited about the victory. It was fun. It's been a fun season, as usual with the Patriots.
New Tech Design in West Boylston started printing championship shirts 30 minutes after the game, and we're still printing at 10 a.m. Going on no sleep, the team there was excited, saying the game wasn't as stressful as past Super Bowls.
When they've had to either come back or like last year, and they lost. But yeah, it was a little less stress, but it was fun to start printing T-shirts.
Back at the store, there is more merchandise on the way, and fans say they're happy to be from New England.
We're spoiled rotten, aren't we?
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
An accident on Hope Ave in Worcester causing traffic backup this afternoon. This cell phone video sent in by a viewer shows a car wedged underneath a tractor trailer. It appears the truck and the car were entering a rotary when they collided. No word tonight on any injuries. A trial date is set for a Blackstone man charged with killing his elderly father. 50-year-old Glenn Armstrong was indicted on first-degree murder and larceny of a motor vehicle charges in the killing of his father, Walter Armstrong, in 2017. Armstrong was arrested in New Jersey the day after his father was found dead inside the Blackstone home where they both lived. According to the Telegram, the trial is set to begin May 2nd. February is Black History Month, and Worcester is celebrating through programs and exhibits across the city. In the Rockwell Gallery of the Worcester Historical Museum, a student art exhibit is on display. The theme is reflecting on the words and legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. On display at City Hall are selections from the history of African American women in Worcester. It features photos of the first Black Worcester schoolteacher, Sarah Ella Wilson. Community activist Bill Coleman says events and exhibits not only teach the history, but they also create an opportunity to open up dialogue.
Worcester's changing neighborhoods and Worcester's changing workplace. I think we need to know, because in history, to know your history is to know your future.
For a list of events and exhibits, you can visit the city's website. A popular ice cream shop in Northborough is closing its doors and selling its property. Trombetta's farm opened in Northborough location about 8 years ago. It sold ice cream and had a garden shop. Owner Charlie Trombetta says they're closing the store because they're downsizing. As for the Marlborough location, which has been open for more than 40 years, he says it will be open for business, and he hopes to see customers from their former Northborough location there when they reopen this spring. A Central Mass beer in honor of fallen Worcester firefighter Christopher Roy is selling fast. Wachusett and Wormtown breweries collaborated on the beer called Worcester's Bravest and kicked off sales Friday. Both breweries sold out of their cans within 1 day. Wormtown had 200 cases and Wachusett had 500. The beer will be on tap until supply runs out. All proceeds go to Worcester Firefighters Locals 1009's fund benefiting Roy's 9-year-old daughter. Dozens of students at the College of the Holy Cross are protesting the school's response to alleged sexual misconduct cases on campus. Most recently, a professor was placed on administrative leave for allegations of sexual harassment. Students say they want the college to be more transparent in these type of cases. Our Olivia Lemon has that story.
More than 200 students lined the halls outside of College of the Holy Cross President's office Monday. They are demanding the school cut ties with the professor accused of sexual harassment and be more transparent when it comes to all cases of sexual misconduct.
We believe there's a culture of silence that's been perpetuated and just absolute complete mishandling of all of these cases across the board.
And there's been such a culture of silencing and trying to sweep it under the rug to keep a nice image up for the college. But as of late, that's something that's been crumbling, and something that's been cracked.
Students gave a list of 4 demands to President Reverend Philip Burrows, calling for administrators to acknowledge philosophy professor Christopher Dustin's alleged sexual misconduct, terminate their relationship with him, conduct a third-party audit of the college's Title IX office, and a review of the dean who checks information about sexual assault on campus.
We are just completely enraged that he was allowed to remain on campus and that people just were notified of this and that it took the president a very long time to respond.
In a statement, a college spokesperson says, "We want our students to make sure their voices are heard, and we appreciate that this issue is a serious one." Father Burrows has already expressed to the students his willingness to meet with them and have this important conversation so the students can make clear their concerns and we can continue to work together on solutions.
We need a bigger change here, and hopefully we at least get some clarity as to why action here has been so slow,
Last summer, an artist in residence resigned from the school following allegations from students who say they were sexually abused by him. And a student-run Instagram page has shared more than 100 stories of sexual offenses on campus.
While those 2 faculty cases are really spurring us here, especially since the Instagram came about and all of that, we really just need to change the culture and make sure the administration is listening to us because they clearly haven't been in the past.
Olivia Lemon, Worcester News Tonight.
We're told the students did meet with college leadership, but the sit-in continues. Now to a fatal fire over the weekend. No working smoke detectors and extremely cold weather made battling a fire even more difficult for firefighters in the city this weekend. One person died, another made it out safely. Tonight, the fire department is encouraging everyone to check their smoke detectors, especially during the winter. Our Chandler Walsh has the details.
Horrible. It was bad. I could hear the people screaming and asking for help. Residents on Worcester's Uppsala Street are coming to grips with a 3-alarm fire which killed one of their neighbors. The flames broke out early Saturday morning, engulfing the home from a second-floor bedroom.
My heart broke.
2 people were trapped inside the home. Police rescued one who escaped through a window and onto the roof.
Once we got there, we tried to make that push in to search for the second person. But unfortunately, we had to back out because the volume of fire was just way too great.
Deputy Fire Chief Martin Dyer says extreme cold froze a hydrant and made conditions difficult for firefighters. He says the inside of the building also posed a challenge.
There was a lot of stuff in the way, so it was very hard to move our hose line down.
Dyer says there were no working smoke detectors. The department urges residents to make sure detectors are installed and working at least twice a year.
With today's fires, where they just grow so rapidly, it is so important to get that early detection of the fire, get an early 911 call in, and then we can get there and fight a reasonable fire.
Rosemary Williams lives across the street and says she didn't know the victim, but the tragedy hits close to home.
Imagine, I don't know who died, but we are neighbors.
That loss that we had in there that day, like a lot of people felt it.
Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
Worcester police have not yet identified the victim, and the fire is still under investigation.